I'm all for healthy boundaries, but I tend to think mashed potatoes are the great equalizer. Like, you don't want to spend Thanksgiving by yourself because you can't set politics aside.
Whatever your reason is, I would never let my politics be the reason I don't show up to see my family, because they won't always be there.
I'm going to disagree.
All right. Well, apparently the View host, Sunny Hostin, is all for Democratic voters essentially spending the holidays alone if it means not having to deal with family members who are big Trumpers, individuals who supported Trump for this election.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we dive into the explosive debate that's been burning up social media. Anna Kasparian doesn't just stir it up. She breaks it down, calling out the divisive rhetoric coming from The View and its hosts Sunny Hostin and Joy Reid. From family Thanksgiving fights over politics to heated accusations about race and representation in the media, this piece doesn't hold back. Are political differences worth tearing apart family ties? And is the media fueling the flames of division? Let's cut through the chaos and see what's really going on.
Topic came up after a Yale psychiatrist by the name of Amanda Calhoun suggested to Joy Reid that it might actually be a good idea to skip the holiday celebrations this season following the election. Let's watch.
There is a push, I think just a societal norm, that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me.
All right, so I'm not surprised that was something that was said on Joy Reid's show, but I am curious what you think, John. There are those who disagree. Plenty of people who do agree, though, but I'm curious where you fall on this debate.
The recent suggestion by a Yale psychiatrist, amplified by Joy Reid, that families consider skipping gatherings with relatives who hold opposing political views, particularly Trump supporters, has ignited a fiery debate. Anna Kasparian led the charge against this notion, arguing that such advice fosters unnecessary hostility, isolating individuals based on their political beliefs rather than encouraging healthy dialogue. In an era where political differences already polarize communities, Kasparian contends that cutting off loved ones over voting preferences only deepens the divide, turning personal relationships into battlegrounds for ideology.
If you have a group that might come over and it's going to ruin the day and the election was literally 3 weeks ago, then in that case, yeah, I think you might have to create some distance.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think it really does depend, right? Because if you're going to preemptively cut people off because you simply know that they voted differently from you and you vehemently disagree with who they cast their ballots for, but they haven't been jerks to you, you can typically have a good time with them and not get into a political debate. Like, I think it's wrong to cut those people off, especially if it's family, friends, people who have been close to you. There's going to be political disagreements to destroy our relationships and our families and our friendships. So that's where I'm coming from. Plus, when you keep that line of communication open and you can stomach some of those political debates, if you engage in good faith and if the person you're disagreeing with knows that you're coming from a place of love, you can actually, maybe persuade, maybe they'll persuade you on some things, who knows? But at the end of the day, we need to see each other as people rather than like political avatars. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like as a general rule, sure. I get this super depends on the individual. I mean, there are people who they might have had to hide who they were when they were teens, and now
I know, yeah,
their parents want to have Thanksgiving dinner with them, but they remember what their early life was like. Like it super depends on the individual person.
It really does. It does. I totally agree with you on that. Okay, so Anna Navarro, Alyssa Farah Griffin, and Sarah Haynes all agree that, they don't let politics get in the way of their relationships and with family. So let's take a look at what they had to say.
I'll tell you, Al has 5 children.
Your husband.
My husband has 5 children. Most of them or their spouses voted for Trump. The problem is those 5 children have 13 grandchildren he refuses not to see and not to be part of their lives. And so for our family, I mean, he has told them, I will not let politics split up our family.
You don't want to spend Thanksgiving by yourself because you can't set politics aside. Like I find that every day in every job I've worked in social circles I've run in, I've been around people who have different politics than me, and it's never gotten in the way of having friendships with them. I wouldn't have had I wouldn't have had any friends.
I wouldn't have had any holidays if I had to only pick the ones where everyone agreed with me. And so now there are times,
Max
and
wouldn't be with you.
I check in with myself and say, am I up for this? Because I also know struggling with mental health, there are times I'm not, and that's okay. You step away, but it will never be the defining point, because toxic personalities don't have political affiliations. It's a personality trait that sucks, and we all are related to people like that.
Anna Kasparian didn't hold back in her critique of The View hosts, particularly Sunny Hostin, accusing them of pushing a divisive and self-righteous narrative that thrives on moral grandstanding. According to Kasparian, their approach alienates rather than unites, exposing blatant hypocrisy in their inability, or refusal, to engage respectfully with opposing viewpoints. Her criticism goes further, targeting the way media, including The View, portrays race. She argues their rhetoric is not only unrepresentative but actively harmful, reducing complex issues into caricatures that fail to resonate with everyday people. By presenting themselves as champions of inclusivity while promoting narratives that amplify division, Kasparian suggests the hosts are doing more harm than good, fueling polarization instead of fostering understanding.
Sunny Hostin, she's having a tough go at things, and she's in the complete opposite camp. So let's hear what she has to say.
Whatever your reason is, I would never let my politics be the reason I don't show up to see my family, because they won't always be there.
I'm going to disagree. I completely understand her point, because I really do feel that this candidate, President-elect Trump, is just a different type of candidate. From the things he's said and the things he's done and the things he will do, it's more of a moral issue for me. And I think it's more of a moral issue for other people. We're just, I would say it was different when, let's say, Bush got elected. You may not have agreed with his policies, but you didn't feel like he was a deeply flawed person, deeply flawed by character, deeply flawed in morality.
A lot of Dems called him deeply flawed and humanized him.
But you got to admit, they're very different figures. I think when people feel that someone voted not only against their families, but against them and against people that they loved, I think it's okay to take a beat.
Okay, I think she was fine in what she's saying there. Taking a beat is definitely fine. Sometimes you need a break. That's totally okay. Look, I think, John, you and I have the right take. The right take is...
I generally think that.
Right? Yeah.
Actually, yeah. That's why I take it.
Anna Kasparian cuts through the noise by pointing out a fundamental truth often overlooked in today's hypercharged climate. Toxic personalities, not political affiliations, are at the root of many family divisions. She argues that the bitterness tearing relationships apart is less about who voted for whom, and more about the inability of certain individuals to navigate conflict without hostility. Turning her focus to Sunny Hostin, Kasparian delivers a scathing critique of what she sees as generational hypocrisy, accusing Hostin of enjoying the privileges of societal success while peddling narratives of victimhood and entitlement. This, Kasparian claims, is emblematic of the broader failures in media today, especially The View. With ratings plummeting, Kasparian attributes the show's decline to its divisive rhetoric and its unwillingness to connect with viewers who hold different perspectives. Instead of fostering meaningful dialogue, she asserts, it doubles down on alienating the very audiences it claims to represent. What do you think of today's video? Let us know in the comments. Thank you.